So I'll run over here and go round again. Okay, so barley produces more grains than wheat or oats or sorghum. So since its volume, it's litres of product that counts when you're feeding animals, using barley as a feed source is better than using wheat, because wheat and barley are approximately the same value when you take into account wheat's worth more, barley produces more. It's kind of a wash, but barley produces more, so it's better as a feed source for your chickens and your pigs and your whole crop silage. So that's why when I want to produce whole crop silage, I'm growing barley for that, not sorghum or wheat. When it comes to taking grains to the grain mill, I've not done the math on that, because I don't know exactly how much crop you get for each of them in comparison to each other. So I don't know how much the wheat production counts for. Okay, fence still running, good. Yeah, anyway, as I said, I'm generally looking for the most efficient crop for food, or the least loss, because crops for food is always, you're always counting what am I losing out on by feeding the animals this rather than selling it. So if I need 1,000 litres of barley, it's going to be valued at a lower value than wheat, so using the barley is the better choice. But when it comes to feeding pigs, it's sort of, well, I can feed them soybeans or sunflowers or canola. Which one has the better value? But a lot of people don't consider which one produces more or less. I just tend to look at the production. How much do I produce when I harvest that crop? Okay, well, I've nearly got all of this. And the windrower is still going, so that's good. Take us on a wide left, and that should line me straight up to start going back on the rows again. This is a really nice baler for gathering stuff up. It's because it's such a short wheelbase, it does very precisely follow where I want it to go. So it's very rare that I miss anything. Okay, let's drive. I have been watching some of Arthur Stone Mountain, but his life is getting in the way of his streaming world. That's fine. I'm not going to criticize him for that, but it does mean that he's not on a schedule for me, so I may watch a bunch of videos all in one sitting rather than watch them as they come out, which is probably hurting his figures, because you kind of want people watching your videos as they're released as opposed to 2-3 weeks later. But yeah, it's the way of the things. And there's other YouTubers that I am sitting there waiting for their video, kind of like Tom Pemberton produces a video on Tuesday, Friday and sometimes Sundays. So I'm looking for the Tuesday and Friday ones, and pretty much within an hour of them dropping, I will have seen it. Must admit, I can't remember what his Friday video was this week. Oh, he was shuffling around the young'uns. Because he needs to make room for the next building project on the farm, which I believe is joining the last two sheds up to his slurry system. And turn in there 3,900, that's bad. Let's go. And the windrow is still going. Good. So that the windrow is on the big field now, isn't it? So as soon as it's done, it can come home. And then I'm probably done with the vent. I will probably do a follow me with the John Deere and the bale trailer, so that we can collect the other two fields bales and take them to the sell point, and then we'll see how much left we have to deliver to complete all three contracts, and then everything else in this field goes in the cowshed. I'm talking about lots of people. Yeah, no, Arthur is... I know he doesn't stream, but he does release YouTube videos, but his YouTube videos are not on a regular schedule. Oh dear. But compared with other people who do, that's a bit of a problem. Let's try and recover from that tiny error. And there's some model railroad guys who I watch as well, and some of them have gone to a monthly video on a random day. So I know there's going to be a video sometime this month, but I'm not sure when, so it's usually a couple of days after they've released them, even though I'm subscribed, before it appears on my list of things to watch. There's one guy that produces videos every Friday, so I know to look out for him, and I'm looking out for him. There's another one who produces one every other Friday, and again, I know to look out for him when it happens. I usually forget which Friday I'm on, so I'll look every Friday. But it's just being regular with what you produce and when you produce it, so that beep 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 beep. Oh. There's still another 100. There we go. And if you can't be regular, then you're gonna suffer. But based on your current life circumstances, that's gonna be an issue for you. I mean, it's like me. I used to stream. I think I would take off Wednesday nights and Sundays. but I would stream every other day of the week. Saturdays in the morning, which is where this one's remained, and the weekdays in the evening. But because I've got other commitments in the evenings these days, I don't have enough time to stream at night time, so I guess I'm not as attracting as many viewers in that way. And then I've got my YouTube drops every week, and again, I'm not dropping things constantly on YouTube. In order to gain the algorithm, I'm limiting my videos to 30 minutes and dropping no more than 2 per day. So it just so happened for last week we had 3.5 hours on Saturday, 3.5 hours on July 4th, which filled up 2 videos a day from Sunday through this morning. So the last 2 videos from the 4th of July dropped this morning at 6 o'clock and 6:30 respectively. But I also, I don't, again with my schedule, I don't have the time to watch streams. Streams can run for hours and hours, but I will watch someone who does similar to me and will drop a stream to YouTube and in 30-minute chunks. Or if they drop an hour video, I'll watch half of it now and half of it, after the next thing that I have to do. So I'm fitting it in, but I'm not able to sit down in front of a stream and watch. And I kind of don't like to do that because I'm counting as a viewer, but I'm not watching it. So I would prefer to go back and watch it later at my own leisure rather than, I'll sit down and, I've missed 20 minutes because I had to go and do a thing. Oops, again. And you sort of find you're coming into the middle of a conversation and maybe you're not sure what's going on because you've missed 20 minutes. And then you start in on the conversation and then, something's come up, I have to go and do something. And someone may send a bunch of replies to me, I'm not there. So it kind of, I don't feel right about doing that. So it's a thing. Anyway, we're nearly done here, and the windrower has finished, so. And I've got a bale. I could leave the windrower where it is and bring them all back on a follow me when we've delivered everything. That might be a thing. And if it hasn't done a good job, I've got the windrower there to tidy things up before I bale them. Okay, what is the time? It is now 11:30. Well, we did manage to get through the morning with no thunderstorms, so yay. And missed the thing. What I might do, I might need to take a very quick break and then we'll just finish off the morning. Mrs. Osa's still sleeping, teenage Osa's still sleeping, so I'm not in a hurry to get away and do stuff. As I said earlier, I would like to get back to some carpentry work before too much longer. The problem with summer in Michigan is you've got 2 competing issues. It's either 90 degrees out there or it's raining out there. neither of which are very conducive to doing cutting lumber in the backyard, but both of which are conducive to doing stuff indoors with the lumber once it's cut. So if I can get out there while it's not raining and not knock this bale over, I should be able to at least set myself up that I can do some indoor work when it is raining or 90 degrees outside. Mrs. Osa just got herself a new cricket, which is good because I have plans for that as well. And it occurs to me I need a couple of radius templates to set track with and cut boards with, so that might be a useful thing. Because there's no easy way to cut a piece of plywood in an absolute smooth curve unless you've got a big router table that you can just stick the piece of wood on and program the router, and it'll cut the arc you want, or the piece you want. But I might be able to leverage the cricket to at least create a template that I can then use to saw my arcs. Because once I get down to cutting plywood, the project changes. It's more indoors than outdoors. I've got a lot of offcuts of wood which I am going to have to cut to size. But then we start with track bed and track laying and stuff like that, none of which needs to go outside for. So I'll be able to do a lot of work whether it's hot outside or cold outside, because the basement is 40 degrees all year round, maybe 50, maybe somewhere between 40 and 50, which means that it's going to be marginally chilly down there, but it's going to be it's not going to be extreme hot or extreme cold, which is what a lot of guys in the UK have issues with. If they're building model railways in the attic, you can't do any work during the summer because it's 90 degrees outside and hotter inside, and if it's the middle of winter, then it's 5 degrees outside and colder inside, which isn't the greatest situation. Just occurred to me, stop. The thing with the Vermeer pack is Vermeer is sort of North American Canada. I don't believe it's something you can get in the UK or Europe, which sort of makes it unrealistic to include on a farm there, although I might just do it because I could use the Crone round baler from the forage pack. Oh, we're up to 335,000. Oh, and I missed again. Okay, One more run down the field, and we'll take this down to the yard and get it fixed up. All of it. Although the baler's only at 90%. I think doing things like that is good. And I will probably also not use the adjusted equipment maintenance mod. So we will go with, it's going to cost us what it costs us. Okay, run down the end. What do you reckon? 2 more bales maybe? I figure there's more than 28 here. Then, oh yeah, there's definitely one more, because that's about to burst now. I think there's a very small patch of grass just on that bale at the end of the road to the right of us. Either way, we'll collect all of the stuff because obviously we're running a multiple contracts, so all the hay is useful. Oh, I missed that bit as well. Of course I did. So as I said, that bit there, it's because I moved forward before the bale door shut. So the collector wasn't collecting anything. Technically, the collector was probably collecting stuff and throwing it out the back because the door wasn't shut. And I did the same there as well. So get that. So nowhere near a full load. That's fine. We got everything. Lift the thing, turn the thing off. Let's get this back to the shop and fixing things. Oh, where is the John Deere? Isn't the John Deere down at the BGA? I think it is. Yep. Okay, so a bit of servicing. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, and we are back. Let's do what I said I was going to do. Fix that for $8. Yay. Fix that for 103 and fix that for 1100. Alrighty. That's mostly ready to go. As I said, I want to take the bale trailer with us. So we can do this as we go. And I will take that back to the farm. I know we need to move more manure. So it just makes sense to take the tank back. Because I'll be collecting the bales on the